If you look to the left, those blocks, let me think, they are the interior wall of the building. So they are, we call them breeze block. Breeze block. It's quite porous. And then in front of that will go brick. And historically, in this part of England, the northwest, the subsoil is clay. So that's why so many of our buildings are brick. You find that in large cities, the more elegant and the more expensive buildings are clad with stone, usually from a local quarry. In Liverpool, the local stone is sandstone. It's pink. It's very pretty. In Manchester, it's yellow. But because all northwest cities are very, or have been very polluted, it's usually black. But in the 1970s and 80s, they started to clean the exteriors of all the buildings. And that was when they saw this beautiful architectural detail that we have on so many municipal buildings in particular. And when we go to the centre, you'll see that the huge buildings are all stone, but they're only clad in stone. Most of them have an iron frame and brick walls and then a stone cladding. The modern buildings now have two walls, but the first wall is that grey brick. That's quite modern. That's only been common since after the Second World War, since the late 40s, 1950s. But they all have brick exterior because we've got so much of the material available to us. The buildings, for example, in front, this building on this side of the road, this was a warehouse, and it would have been a commercial warehouse because it's brick. If it had been a very important warehouse where buyers went to look and see what goods they were going to purchase, it would have been more decorative. But because it would have been close to the port, very commercial, no need to impress people, yeah? So it's brick. And if you look at the windows, they're very uniform, yeah? And smaller towards the top. That was the style, probably early 1800s. And this area where we are now is in the process of being regenerated. It's being gentrified. We call it gentrified, new word in English. And it just means that commercial buildings are being made respectable. Yeah? The gentry, it's another name for a class of people. People who don't work in offices, who have, in past times, the gentry were the landowners, the people with money, the people who had expectations. Today, we don't say that, but we do say that when the building is being upgraded or the area is being transformed from commercial area to residential, they now say it's being gentrified. And that's what's happening here. And as we go up this street, I'll show you a former church which is now a restaurant, and a very splendid restaurant as well. If the doors are open, we'll go in and have a look. It's worth it. Okay, so we're going straight up this road.